Hello Galactic family, greetings dear humanity. I am Porta, known as Powerfull of the Mashaba family. I come at this time because it is most timely that I share some information with you. To humanity as a whole, I say to you that you are about to see an end to all that has been working against you for a millennium of time. You will see the total end of the lies and deceit that have controlled your lives and had you living a life of falsehood without you even being aware of it. The mechanism of deceit and manipulation was very powerful and was carefully and strategically put in place a very long time ago. It started even before the story of Jesus came into being. That in itself is another story that will come to light. In fact, it has already started with the release of the book When Worlds Collide, the Unwritten Truth of the Black Race and Its Extraterrestrial Origins, written by my son of Earth, Anakhanda Shaka Mashaba. The history of control of the people goes so far back that it boggles the mind. It was a very intense and thorough process over time. It took a very strong root, and it was done in such a way that those that were being controlled had no idea. They actually thought that they were free and making their own choices. How clever was that? Through economics, religion and race, is how they took over the world from the people. They, the former so-called Cabal or Illuminati, not only took control of the finance of the world and separated and divided people through religion and race, they also controlled and manipulated through agriculture, for if you control the food you control the world, the medical society, for they determined what was made available to the people and the people had little choice but to accept whatever was put forth in front of them, and also through education, for you control the education and what goes into someone's mind and thinking, you control them as your pawns. It's not the fault of the people, for the people were tricked, manipulated, fooled and hoodwinked. Humanity is much wiser today. It is far more difficult to fool the people, for there are so many awakened beings on the earth. There is so much access to information because of the internet. It's so much more difficult to hide the truth than any time in history. Humanity is on the verge of seeing great change that will literally blow their minds. It will be such a shock for so many people when they find out the truth of what has been taking place in their country, with their governments, food industry, medical industry and educational industry. However, you will begin to enjoy freedom and empowerment, financial independence and perfect health and well-being in a way that you never thought possible. Then you will find that there will be many more that are aware and have been waiting consciously on these changes. These are the people that are primed and ready to make a difference. I now speak to you, those that are not only spiritual awakened, but also who in a moment will be financially flush to the hilts. This event that has been planned a very, very long time ago as you of humanity enter the golden age of peace, love and prosperity. This is a spiritually orchestrated event that took a millennium of planning. There were those of Earth that held the charge of protecting the wealth for the people so it can be available when this time comes. On the continent of Africa, which will one day be the most successful thriving country of Earth, you will find vast, and I mean vast, resources of natural wealth that has lain dormant by design until this day. There have also been great gold reserves in China, for they were the keepers of a vast amount of gold for this moment in time you are now living in. As much gold as China may have, there is much more vast quantities of it on the continent of Africa alone, along with other nature resources of great value. The Chinese are playing their role in this time of prosperity, and it is by agreement with the spiritual hierarchy and by agreement with the Mashaba people, for they have a strong personal relationship with the Chinese people because of something that took place with the blood of the Chinese people many millions of years ago, before the Chinese people came and settled on Earth. It was the Mashaba people that came to their aid. Now I know that I get ahead of myself here, so I will get back to my point and leave this for another moment of sharing. To the currency holders of the world, you are the ones that have the opportunity to bring great change to the world at large through your service that have been entrusted to you before you came to Earth to participate in this new age of evolvement for Earth and humanity. You are positioned in a place to where great and enormous wealth is about to befall you post haste. You will have a power in your hands at your beck and call, a financial power that will serve to assist in remaking the earth and humanity. You are being charged with a very vital task. You have seen the examples before you of how those of great wealth used their wealth for their own greater good at the expense of anyone or anything else. You have seen how these examples have not cared about the people and what happens to them, how they live, how they suffer, how much they are in need. There have been a very tiny few that gave any care for the people. You see that that example is not what you feel in your heart. You see that with your wealth you are going to do it and use it very differently than those before you. This is why you will be blessed to have such an enormous amount. It will be used for the progress and development and freedom of humanity. What you do with your wealth is the telling story of your own evolvement. Those that prove not to be worthy because of selfishness will eventually lose all of their wealth. Not as a punishment but because you choose not to follow your intended spiritual destiny for humanity. You must remember that money has its own consciousness. It's not some dumb stupid piece of paper that knows nothing. It carries a specific energy, especially this money that is coming into your life now. It will have more consciousness than ever before. It will work with you as a partner for the greater service to Earth and humanity. If you do not keep up on your part of the agreement, then the money will decide to leave on its own accord. You see, we are living in a very different time now, and more are becoming aware that everything has consciousness, even that which we feel is dead, or devoid of life, or just a piece of inanimate substance. You currency holders will become the heroes tuned for the people. Your heart will prevail on behalf of the people. You were chosen because of your integrity. You were chosen because of your dedication and commitment to truth and right and love of your fellow human being. You are not caught up in the deceit of separation by color of one's skin or by the belief system one may believe in. You are not in judgment of but in love of. You use the power of love to serve the people. You are your brothers and your sisters' keeper, and you will stand firm and show the truth in your actions with you great wealth and ability to serve all people. In closing, I say prepare for your divine blessing that is so near that you can feel its breath on your face. Be happy, don't worry, for it is your time and it has arrived. I love you all tremendously in the name of the All. Mashaba, blessings and love. I am Porta Papa Mashaba.